Hey everyone, how you doing? I haven't done a live chat for a while. I keep apologizing every time I come back live because I've been little bit tied up with a few things. And obviously, I had the first Elemental WordPress meetup in Leicester on Saturday, just gone, 3 days ago. And I've already booked in the next one. I need to just change some details on Facebook and a few areas. So I am going to be hosting the second Elemental WordPress meetup on the have I got this right? The 23rd of November, which is a Sunday. Is that right? Wait a minute. Yeah, 23rd. I had to count it then just to be sure. So it's 23rd of November, 4 weeks time. I selected a slightly different venue. It's set in the basement of a bar. And I hope people will be okay and they'll like that idea, because basically what I want to do is kind of just have a more cozier atmosphere, because I think some meeting rooms are great. All right, don't get me wrong. Okay, hold it. Sorry, I'm trying to do quite a lot of things here at the moment. Meeting rooms are fantastic, but sometimes I feel like they can be a bit drab and a little bit boring, or even depressing to look at. Like you go and you're like, and you're all sat in a theater style or whatever. So I'm going for a more boardroom style meetup. And it's a bar. I'm not paying for drinks or food. Bring your own stuff in your bag you're going to eat. But there will be a bar upstairs. If you want to go into a bar to grab yourself a drink, you can do that. Hey, Max, Hemel Web Design. Sorry, a bit late looking at that. And sorry, don't worry you couldn't make it. Seriously. It's free of charge. It's here for people, for you, for everyone. I hope the maximum number of people that will be allowed in this room will be 22 people. Now, we had 8 people attend. I think 15 said they would come, but we only had 8 in the end. Now, when I say only, I don't mean that in a bad way, because I actually thought I might only get 2 or 3. So getting 8 turn up was really, really good. Great. And meeting so many people face to face as well. It was nice. It was good. It was a good atmosphere. But we will have a maximum of 22. We can actually get 24, but I might just say 23 because I don't want it to get too tight. But hopefully we can get more people. And I am doing Sunday. It is Sunday morning. Now, I don't know how much people are going to be okay with that or not. I think some people might not like it being that early, because you have to kind of juggle up when you do a meetup or anything of this type. What is the best ideal time to do it? So do you go for something like Wednesday evening, Thursday evening, which is when a lot of meetups do it? In fact, I'll just show you. Okay, I'll just put it down here. It's the Cozy Club Leicester. Cozy Club Leicester, 23rd of November 2025. And it will be from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's the idea. It's a 3-hour session, but there's going to be much more breakups inside of there. Nick. By the way, Nick, it was great to see you then. I really do appreciate you traveling up from Southampton. But I would say don't feel like you have to come to any more or any in future whatsoever. And of course, I'll be recording it the way I did and edit out bits that need to be edited out, and then obviously release it as a video. So I'll definitely be doing that. So the venue this time is closer to the High Cross in Leicester. So there's parking there for people that want to park or not. It's up to you. Or you can get the train and walk, or even bus, depending on where you are in a city. Fat Tracker, I'm curious how other people handle what a major revision to a platform used forever changes drastically. How do you keep yourself from getting over? So do you mean OFT, a change to, say, WordPress or Elementor or whatever page builder you're using? Do you mean that when you say a revision to a platform? Is that what you meant, just to be sure? This venue is actually, I think it's reasonably quite nice, actually. So I'll share it with you on screen if you like, the new venue. because I quite like it. So here's the venue, but we're going to be in the Loom room. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Private hire. And we're going to be in this. Look, I can't even find the damn room. We're going to be in this room here. So it's a bit more of a, it's an old textile factory, but it's a bar restaurant kind of thing, and we'll be downstairs. But it's got a, it's not a, I mean, I'm not getting you food or anything, right? So please don't think you're getting to get fed or anything like that, because you're not. But it looks like quite a nice room. What's view PDF? What's view? Ah, there we go. Yeah. So there's the room. No, that's not the room. There's the room. That's the room, right? So that's the Loom room. It says seated capacity 32, but if I do boardroom style, the maximum we can do is 24 seats. But that's the room, and there'll be a projector over here somewhere. So there'll be a projector in the room as well. So I think that's quite a nice, cozy looking room. And the great thing is there is a table. So that is something I have taken on board. No one said it. No one complained or made an issue of this at all. I want to make that clear. No one said a word. But I felt for people that were there, some were writing. And I felt when you're sat on a seat, even though we had a break, it's good to have somewhere to lean on. So Nick, you were there. Would you agree? It's good to have somewhere to lean on, to put your drink, to put your phone, to put your shoulder, your elbows, your book, whatever. It's good to have something. You know, maybe you're a bit bored and you just want to do that as well while you're listening. Whereas when you're on a seat, you're kind of like this, aren't you? Sometimes you're having to lean back into the seat because, you know, you're feeling a bit tired or whatever. And I just, you know, I felt, I just wanted to upgrade a little bit. So I've been contacting this place today, and I literally just booked it 5 minutes before I went live. I went, right, okay, done and done. I need to edit a video. I need to think about a project, but you know what? I'm just going to take it easy now for the rest of today. So let's just go live. Let's just go live. We haven't been live for a while. Yeah. And I want to apologize for anyone that watched the replay. I realized after I recorded that I had my camera in the wrong position. If I had stayed behind the table, the camera would have been correct. But because I stood more in the middle of the room near the screen, and I kept going over there to that side of the screen, even when I was talking, the camera was hitting me here rather than here. So I need to get my positioning of my camera spot on next time. Visual Grid, I watched the first meetup video. It was very informative. Thank you. You know, and, you know, if there's ever a chance for you to attend, please do. So Nick says, great to have somewhere to lean on. Definitely didn't find an issue. I'm one of those people where if I know I'm going to be somewhere for like 2 hours, I'd love to know there was somewhere to lean on, you know, because sometimes you're sat like that in the seat. And I feel like, you know, because sometimes what happens is people sometimes lean on another chair because they're feeling a bit, you know, I don't know. Anyway, Olfat Trucker, when the entire UI changes, you can't find the tools you normally use. Now, the last time that happened to me in a major way is when we went from Office 2007 to 2010. Does anyone remember that? The transition from Office 2007 to Office 2010. And the entire toolbar, menu bar at the top completely changed. Do you remember that? Does anyone remember the changes in Office 2010? And also we went from DocC to DocX, XLS, XL to SLX. All of those changes. My God. It took me a couple of days and I got on board with it. So many other people could not get on board with it. And so many people were trying to open documents in Office 2010 where it needed to be DocX. And oh my God. Or some of them were saving it in DocX, taking it home to their laptop. Their laptop was still 27 and they couldn't open the DocX at home. It was like, yep, ribbons, banners, oh my God, all of that. But people who worked with Office or in the corporate world, my God, it was painful because you were like going, where's that? And where's that? I never understood why they did the changes they did. However, we're very much all used to it now. David, I was there, Gandalf, at the beginning. Huh? Anthony Golding, caught up with the live event. Hopefully you'll be able to make it to a few. Yeah, look, if you can. And I would love it when we can get to a point where I know we're going to have 50 people and then grow to where we have 100 people and then grow even more bigger to the point where we go, you know what? We've got enough people here to get, I don't know. That's when I reach out to Matt Mullingweg and say, it's about time we do a proper WordCamp UK event. We get proper sponsorship in and we get people in. But the WordCamp UK event cannot become a let's have loads of talks and workshops and seminars that are smoke screen, cloak and dagger routes for sponsors to promote what they want to sponsor, but it isn't real hardcore about WordPress. Or doesn't even have to be about Elemental, because obviously WordCamp wouldn't just be Elemental, but it can't just be about, we're going to do a talk about vulnerabilities because we want you to get some patch stack stuff or word fancy stuff. Or we're going to talk about performance because we review your website and we're connected to WP Rocket, you know, and all that shit. I want it to be real things that you, me, designer, developers, new, old, veteran, whatever, rookie, newbie, want to know and are interested in. Hey, Beatrice, by the way, hope you're okay. Nick says, remember rolling out group policy updates across the board to ensure that files were saved in the previous. Oh, yes. Oh, I mean, the amount of people I used to deal with at work that had, they'd saved as a docx not realizing, or XSLX, taking it home to their home computer, hoping they could still work on a report, and they can't open it, and they were panicking. I used to get phone calls. I'm not IT support. I'm not help desk. Like, Imran, what do we do? Well, you can't do much. Can we email it to you? Like, what? Can we email it to you and then you email it back? Fuck's sake. Okay. I was literally doing that for people. Earl Fat Trucker questions, how do you avoid getting overwhelmed? Now, this is the problem. The change, was it predictable? So was it that you were informed of the change, but it's occurred and now you just got to deal with it? Is it an unexpected change? Because that's the thing you got to try and contend with. Is it something that was foreseen, or was it just forced upon you? Oh no, Beatrice. I had a heart attack in October 2020. I've got an anterior STEMI. Right, so you know the main bit down the heart, the main tube bit, got a STEMI in there. Really clogged up, and you know, it was very, very dangerous, touch and go at one point. I've been there. You'll ease back into your normal life. It never leaves you mentally or physically. Nearly every day. And a lot of you might, oh dear, 2 stents. Ooh. A lot of people, when they see me, they go, oh yeah, you look all right, Imran. And I don't always like to admit this publicly, even online right now in a live chat. I'm putting it out there. But nearly every day, I get a feeling. There have been days where I've had a really sharp feeling and I've had to stop what I'm doing. There have been it was 10 days ago. I was just watching TV. It was on a Sunday, minding my own business. I wasn't even working. I was just watching TV. And I had a sudden pressure just build up in my chest. And I collapsed off the sofa. There was no one else in the house at the time. I just collapsed. I literally launched myself off the sofa, onto the floor, onto my knees, head down, just like that. And it was that tight pressure feeling that I've had before. And I was like, oh no, what's going on? What's going on? You will have feelings and things kick on. It ain't nice. It ain't nice. And anyone I know who's had a STEMI or a stent or anything, you have these moments, and you know when it happens, you stop. You literally, you almost freak out in your mind, going, "Oh no, not again, not again." So yeah, I feel for you, Beatrice. I really do. I really, really, really do. But I hope you get better. Old Fat Trucker, software packages, they want to refresh, make it look new, add a new and change the way. Yeah, I mean, I think it's really annoying. I mean, at least with Elemental, we get a beta version. So we get to kind of almost know what's coming. CapCut do changes out the blue, and then I have to work with it because you can't roll back. You're stuck with it. OBS have done it. I don't like it. I really wish that software companies, like you could even argue like Apple, Mac, right? Whenever they have an update, I wait 3 months before I update so that they can iron out any issues. But it's not like, oh, test it out. Like it, not like it. You're stuck with it. I think it all comes down to the extremities of the update, Old Fat Trucker. And how much does it affect what you do? And is it just like, right, gotta just wing it. Just gotta fudge through to understand what I'm doing. By the way, hey, John Cyanidis, the new thumbnail. Thank you. Do you know something? I didn't fully appreciate until I checked all of my lives. This is episode 597. I started doing the live chats in 2021. In 2022, they were 5 days a week. Then in 2023, they eased down to 3 or 2 days a week, roughly 2 days a week. Then in 2024, it was like on and off, 2 days a week, 1 day a week, whatever. 2025, I've gone back into doing them a bit more regularly, or as regular as I can do. But we are on episode 597. Fuck yeah. We're like 3 episodes away from episode 600. I don't know when it will be because I don't always stick to a proper schedule agenda, do I? Like episode 600 is on that day. I feel like I should, I don't know, run a prize draw or something. People win something, but I don't know what to do. Hey, Phil, hope you're all right. You know, what could I do to say big thank you to everyone out there? What could I do? What could I do? Or something. You know, maybe I do like a $10,000 offer. No, I'm not doing that. Yeah, I mean, Beatrice, it was, you're going to get moments, and now and again, I will just literally feel this like tight feeling, like a feeling almost like blood going through my heart for 2 seconds, and I feel it, and it shakes you, because when you know you've had a heart attack and you've got something in there now that could fail, it ain't for life. Stents, you know, can, you know, and there could be other valves in your heart that aren't doing too well. It does shake you, you know. And there are occasions my wife says to me, "You all right?" Because I'll be sat there doing that. I'll suddenly go like that, and I'm like this. You know, it's actually roughly here. Somewhere around it, and I'll be like that. And she'll say, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just feeling uneasy. That's it. And it's not a nice feeling, but you know, you just, what can you do, right? We just don't have a device yet that I can just attach to my iPhone and clamp to my chest to see what's going on in there. Big gatings, a membership to your cause. Well, that's not, I mean, for some people that will be valuable, but I feel like I need to do something more extravagant. Nick's met me now. I mean, Nick's seen how I present and do stuff. I'm more about the excitement, the drama, the yay. kind of thing. Hey, Fuel 10, how you doing? Carapos. By the way, people, I'm exploring an idea, and I feel like this idea is going to divide all of you, the audience, right now. And I don't know if I should do it. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put up a poll. I'm going to start a poll, okay? So let me just write this question, and I would love your honest answer. I don't know who will vote yes or no. So be honest with your answer, okay? Should only members be allowed to comment on lives? The live will be visible. So let me just write this to all. To members and none. Right. Now, this is going to seriously divide opinion, I think. Let me say, should only members be allowed to comment online? Sorry, I've gone quiet. Lives. There we go. That should do it. Yes or no? Right. This is going to divide. This is going to divide the audience. At the moment, the live chats are free to everyone to join in. You must be a subscriber to comment. But I am feeling like a business now. I am feeling like a business. I have to. If you are a member of the channel, then you can comment. If not, you won't be able to comment on the live chat. This is going to divide people massively. But I thought, let me just run a poll, because obviously there's going to be a few people on here that are members, and there's going to be a few people that are not members. So I'm just going to get kind of like, what that means then is if I did it, let's just say, let me use Fuel 10 as an example. Fuel 10 can watch the live chat but can't comment. Mr. John Boom can watch but can't comment. Old Fat Trucker could watch and comment. And I've got a feeling a lot of people will say no. Because let me just clarify though, membership, right? Membership costs, let me get this right, 0.9p per month. So that's the cost. That's the cost. And that's what I'm trying to put down here, because I've been doing a bit of thinking. When I do thinking, you're starting an OnlyFans account. No, that's been going a long time, Old Fat Trucker. Not even starting, it's done. Don't do it. Oh, why? But how much does Kevin charge? Tell me what Kevin charged. Can someone clarify? By the way, if Kevin, you see this, I'm not having a go at you at all. Just out of curiosity, what does Kevin charge? What does Kevin charge? I'm not too sure. Nick says, not sure, think sometimes we can have a good open discussion. Selfishly, it's always nice to be. Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one, isn't it? I'm thinking, so from one point of view, it is selfish of me to do it. From another point of view, I'm like, it's 99 pence per month. And you can cancel it anytime. Someone has just said, how do I become a member? So let me now just pop it on screen, because some people have struggled with this. So if you are, where is it? Look at that. My views aren't doing too well at the moment. Oh, I've got to go to incognito. Sorry, I've got to go to incognito. Wait a minute. This is me being really stupid now. Wait, I've got to go to incognito because I'm already logged in, so it won't work. So if you go to YouTube, right? If you go to YouTube, so if you're on the channel, right? So you're on the channel, okay? It has a join button there. There's the join. Now this won't work, by the way. If I click that, it's probably going to say, well, I better do it like this just to check it. Yeah, it's going to ask me to sign in, so I won't do it. But what you would do is you would click that join button. Sorry, let me go back to it. You would click the join button there. That's how you become a member. And it's 99 pence for a recruit to join in. Let me just go back over to my screen. Damn it. Damn it. There we go. Right. So Pixel doesn't have a join button. I'm not sure why. I mean, what is your location, Michael? Where are you located? Out of interest. So let's just see what some of the comments coming in are. So Fuel 10 stopped following him once he started charging. John Bloom, too many starting to restrict videos to members. 99p is nothing, but what if you follow? That all starts. Very true. That is very true, John. If you start to follow a lot of people, the cost does add up. But I would then turn around and say, you know, is how much do you value what you pay for and who you pay kind of thing at the moment. Kevin hosts a lot of free streams where everyone can comment, but he charges for exclusive content. This probably makes more sense. Yep, that's true as well. All Bricks tutorials going to the paywall since he has his own product. That is true. I mean, yeah, that is true. Phil says he wouldn't become a member, but I feel if I paid for membership for all channels, I'd be broke. Yep, and that's the reason why I'm like that. I'm 50-50 about, do I really want to go down that road or not? Do I want to be that restrictive? Jamaica. Oh, I don't know. I would have thought. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know. I mean, I will tell you now, though. Okay. And again, some people will appreciate this or not. Eventually, there will be a final version of version 4. So version 4 of Elementor, right? When the final version of version 4 Elementor is finally released, I will be redoing the Elementor website course with a new website tutorial. And most likely, I will be doing it with Fluent Cart. Actually, no, I won't do Fluent Cart. I'll do it with WooCommerce still. I don't know, because it's not fair to expect people to buy something. But I will be doing a new Elementor version 4 website course. That course will only be available to members. Now, some of you are going to say, that means I've got to sign up 99p. No, sorry, not 99p. It's $4.99 a month. You have to be a commander level to get that course. Even though it's $4.99 a month, and I think it will take 3 to 4 months for all of the videos to be out, because they'll be drip fed like 3 to 4 videos a week. And I'll make sure I've got like a good 20 odd videos ready to go from the get-go. So about 5 to 6 months. No, 3 to 4 months, not 5 to 6, 3 to 4 months. $4.99 a month. That is still way cheaper than if I released a course and sold it for £99, $99 or something. So there will be a point where, for some of you, if you want the new course, you can go for that. If not, not. And the reason why, I actually at the meetup said 99p. I said the wrong price. That's not, the courses is actually $4.99. I had the wrong price. The reason why I'm doing that, hi Tom, the reason I'm doing that is because I want to make it much more accessible now for people in African countries and Eastern countries. Because I have to respect the fact, I can't deny that if I look at my top 10 countries that view my my content, you know, it's in no particular order. United States, United Kingdom, Australia's not too bad, but I've got a lot. Germany is a good one as well. Netherlands, there's a bit, but I've got a lot of high users from India, Pakistan. Oh, my brain goes blank now. It's basically Eastern countries and African countries. Ben, hi, bonjour. Tu t'appelles comment? And if you say ça va bien, I'll say pourquoi. So it's my way of kind of respecting the fact that parity pricing still isn't great, I think. And I think by just offering a lower point of entry is good for people who can afford it, or for people where it's a tiny bit of a stretch. And this is just me saying, look, you want the new courses and stuff like that. That's what it will be. The other great thing about that, though, is I would not have to host the videos. At the moment, I pay a third party to host the videos so that I can feed them through onto my website. I could now stick them onto YouTube, and they'll only be accessible by the members, and you'll get the dubbed audio. So Spanish, French, German, all of these languages, right? Hindi, all of these languages fed through. So that's automatically done. Automatic captions. There'll be a playlist and all of that. And then inside of the description of the video is where I can pop in extra notes or links to extra codes or special stuff for the members. So it means then that the videos are there. I don't have to ensure I've kept a copy of it here and a copy there in case things go down. So that's one massive headache off my head going forwards. Because once that version 4 is out, I don't think there'll be any need to keep the old versions running. I will probably for another year or so, but there will be a point where I'll have to just close those down, because the old Elemental courses will be like pretty dated by then, don't you think? You know, especially with version 4. And even if you're not using the version 4 components, there are aspects of Elemental that have moved on. So you have to kind of respect that kind of thing, right? Right, let me just get onto the comments. Comments. Ashman, I think if you want to make more dollars selling templates or cool functions and effects, people might... Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of creating templates, because I then have to maintain it. And if they break or don't work or there's an issue, I have to go back and do that. If that was my business model, I would do it. My business model, though, is... It's not even YouTube. This is not my business model. Selling courses is not my business model. I have other business models. All of this is the extra. And I'm more known for this because my face is out there. But I wouldn't want to start selling plugins or templates or stuff like that, because once you do that, which is why none of my code snippets are plugins on the repository, because the minute you go there, you now have a responsibility, and you've got to look after people and support desk. And Mr. John Bloom says, recently in Philippines, we got 12% VAT on all digital products. So I let you calculate. Between all the, if I start adding more membership with YouTube. No, it's totally understandable, John. It's totally understandable. But at the end of the day, what I would say is, so let me put this in perspective. Okay, let me put it into perspective. I live and breathe work, and I need to know that what I do, there's a return of some sort. So I have to always balance off what am I giving away and what do I get back in return. For instance, the Elemental WordPress meetup, I pay for the venue. Not only do I pay for the venue, I also lose time because I have to go there, do it. Now, people who come are also losing time, but I have to weigh it off and go, what is the return? Now, I'm sacrificing the return of investment because I feel like I need to give back to the community and hopefully build to something really big. I want to get a WordCamp UK running. I want to get it done. I want to see it. I want the Elemental WordPress whatever meetup group to become the event people want to come to. I want to get to that stage. I want to keep it free. Now, WordCamps, you've got to pay for tickets, but I would want to have a say in what we charge. I don't want none of this bullshit, £200, £150. To do what? To walk around and stroke the egos of sponsors and stuff and attend webinars and workshops that actually do fuck all right to help you and your business at the end of the day. What are you really paying for? You're paying for networking. Give me a break. So if there was ever going to be a WordCamp in the UK, I would want maximum £50 for the 2 or 3 days you're there. Well, that's it. I don't want none of this 150, 250 early birds bullshit kind of thing going on. That whole FOMO, fear of missing out. Get your early bird ticket before the prices go up and everyone rushes in, like they did with WordCamp Asia right now when the first batch of tickets went out. Boom, gone like within an hour. The first batch, early bird tickets. What the fuck is that all about? You're meant to make it inviting for people who are new to WordPress, newbies, people who want to learn and engage. Not just make it like, get your ticket now. You know, sometimes people have to think a bit about, well, am I going to go to India or am I going to get the plane and where am I going to stay and how does that all total up and what's the cost of that? No. FOMO, get your early bird fucking ticket now. That is what you call capitalism at its worst, all right? So if there is ever going to be a WordCamp UK and I do get to have a say in it, because that's where I want to get to the point where I can influence it, we're going to keep it to 50. So the thing is, Anthony, right, what's happened is there was this thing about like there wasn't the appetite for the UK. I don't get that. I just feel like they're trying to steer everyone to just attend WordCamp Europe. I understand that, but it's about time we had a proper WordCamp UK event, but we make it accessible for people who don't have a lot of money. And we make it about WordPress. All right? Less about shit that no one cares about. Thank you very much, Dennis, for watching the whole video. Apologies for the camera angle. I got that completely wrong. And the lighting in the room was not brilliant. There was lighting down the window there, but where I was, it felt quite dull in terms of lighting. Nick says final V4 roadmap for release in 2020. Oh my dear. Please don't say that. No. Nick, I did not know this. You're at work, so you listen but don't always interact. Feel a bit guilty when you ask for... sorry, Nick. Nick. You focus on your work, my friend. Old Fat Trucker. I think, Old Fat Trucker, you can see my point, right? So it would work out to $12 a year or £12 a year, depending on the currency, the way it works. I'm never too sure about YouTube membership. It says 99p, but I think it then converts into 99 cents, which is not 99p. Because 99p converted into cents should be 75p, but it never really makes sense what they do. John Bloom says ads and sponsored videos or even purchasing your digital course is fine, but just paying to be able to say hi is kind of using. Yeah, no, it's totally fine, John. Totally, John. But what I will say, yeah, and this is the thing I think that has always got me into trouble is I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. And this is the thing that always gets me in trouble with a lot of people. I wear my heart on my sleeve and I speak the truth. I'm not here to mollycoddle, stroke anyone's ego, be nice. You know, if someone says to me, do I look fat in this? I'll go, yeah, you do, if you do. And when people don't like it, I go, well, why did you ask then? Did you wanted the truth? I could either say yes or no. So I always say that, you know, if you want something and there's a price for it, you either pay or fuck off. And I don't mean that to you, John, but that's the way my brain works. You know, you want the Pepsi Max, you pay for it. You want an iPhone, you pay for it. You want monitors, screens, whatever, advice, tips. I have, and let me be really honest with you here, right? I was allowed to use something once, and they said they were going to let me use it for free. And I was a bit gobsmacked in my brain. I was like, what? And they were like, no, because you've been really nice and good about it, you can use it for free. And I went, no. From one business to another, here's 50 quid. I'm going to pay you £50 because you're going to let me use whatever they were going to let me use for a good 2 or 3 hours. I went, no, I'm going to pay for it because there's a value. And what the thing I always live and breathe by is that if people don't value you and what you do, then that means they don't respect the time you sacrifice as well. And that then is the same mentality as a lot of clients. A lot of clients want to scope creep, break boundaries, invade, take what they can off you. And it's not just clients, it will be friends, it will be family, it will be life. So I always say that if you or anyone ever says, this is what you get, and it could be one of your services, it could be your time, it could be anything, and there's a price for it, you want it, you pay for it. That's how I live and breathe life. I'm not having a go at you, John, but it just reminded me of something that I always say. By the way, Anthony, how did you find the WordCamp in Manchester? If you could recall your feelings, by the way, how did you feel about it? I know what you're saying, John. Shouldn't put everything behind a paywall. The way I see it, though, yeah, if you think about all the YouTube videos I put out, 99.9% of them are all free anyway. There's the Web Designer Reset series, which currently I do put behind a paywall. That's for the members only, and people who watch it do like them. But I already put out 3 to 4 to 5 videos a week anyway. So I always feel like if there's a chunk of all of that, which is a paywall, on the balance, it makes sense. But I'm still playing around with it in my head. Case, sorry, how you doing? Do you think getting member comments only will improve your YouTube channel? That's a very good question. I don't know. It could be a form of income to help support the channel. It could be a form of income to support the channel or fund other things. But it could also push people away. It could push people away. Old Fat Trucker, the puppy dog sale, you give someone something to use once and the next time you charge for it, you charge them because they don't want to be without. Yeah. Yep, that's true as well. Well, it's like the printer model, right? So you buy a printer and then it says you get the ink for free. But then when you run out, you then realize the ink cost, like let's say the printer was $50 and you get the ink for free. Then when you now want to replenish the ink, it's $30. And you sit there going, what? That's like 60% of the cost of the printer just to replenish the ink, right? HP, you know what I mean, Dennis, right? That's what they do in it. Here you go, printer $40, $50, and you get the free ink, you know, the black, magenta, cyan, magenta, cyan. What was the other one? Black, magenta, cyan. Was it just yellow? Yeah, it was yellow, wasn't it? Did they call it yellow? Or turmeric? Black, magenta, cyan, yellow. And then it's $30 or whatever. Yellow. And you had to then send it to them. Or you go somewhere with your empty tub. And then in a machine, they just... Here you go back, whatever. Those were the days, right? Those were the days. I haven't had a printer for... close to 10 years. 9 years. 9 years to be exact. No, nearly 10 years. I have not had a printer for nearly 10 years. There's only been very few occasions in the last 10 years when I've actually needed to print something off. Like, but 10 years. Like, print, yeah, just never need it. Old Fat Trucker, when you have one-to-ones, you charge them one on 27 and you're only charging them less than $1. Yeah, I think that's the thing, Old Fat Trucker. I think sometimes trying to convey the value of what you bring and the cost of the time without sounding like a pushy salesman can be tricky. Anthony says the Manchester WordCamp was good content-wise with sessions. They were interesting to me. Relevant sponsors located outside the sessions, so I didn't feel overwhelmed. Yeah. I'm hoping we can get back to a WordCamp in the UK at some point in the future. £20 to attend. Really, Anthony? That's way low. I mean, have you seen the cost of attending? Does anyone remember what the cost of WordCamp Europe, US, and Asia was recently? I think they were like $150 or something. They were quite pricey. Does anyone remember the prices? I mean, £20 then, that was excellent. I would still say £50 for today's rates if we were going to do a WordCamp UK. I always do wonder, though, how does it all work out when they make their sales? Because obviously you'll have the organisers. They get money from the sponsors. But then how much of that money goes back to Automatic because you're doing a WordCamp using their branding and their naming? I always wonder, I don't know the answer to this. How much do Automatic take to, number one, A, be present and part of it, and for you to carry their branding? There must be like a franchise price or something you have to pay. I could check with a few people. I mean, I know a few people. I don't know them very well, but I've been on their podcast and spoken to them. I might just inquire and go, out of curiosity, if you were organising an event, what cut or what do you have to pay to use the name? So if they say you got to pay $30,000, you got to get sponsorship to cover that, and your venue and food and facilities and resources and hiring people or whatever. I always wonder. If anyone knows, put it in the comments. I think it's an interesting thing to talk about, isn't it? And if I ever do find out, I'll let you know. That all depends on if anyone is willing to share that kind of information. Sometimes people get a bit funny about revealing stuff, don't they? They go, can't tell you that. Old Fat Trucker went to WordCamp years ago and found it more like a trade show and found very... Yeah, now, you see, Old Fat Trucker, that's the point I'm making. I want to steer away from that. I don't mind it having the trade show element with sponsors, but the sponsors do not get a say in the workshops. They don't get a say in what's presented or what's talked about. They are just there to sponsor. It's like in the NHS, there would be regular meetups with the doctors, the senior partners, consultants. And all of the events would be sponsored by pharmaceutical companies. And before you get to the bit where you sit and watch the presentations, all the discussions and, forum talks and all that, you'd have either side of you about 7, 8, 10 different pharmaceutical companies. And they're giving away USB sticks, mouse mats, stands, stuff, coasters, stuff like that, notebooks, pens, littered with their logos. Like every notebook had a massive logo on and whatever, right? The odd little tote bag and stuff. Oh yeah, you got to use this and yeah, this is the best stuff to use. Don't use paracetamol, use our branded type. Yeah, use this, blah, 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 blah. They're all trying to get into there, right? And everyone loves the merchandise. Like Dennis says, we all love the merch. But when it got to the actual events, and there might be 4 or 5 speakers, I might be there speaking as well, they have no input. Those pharmaceutical companies have zero input. They can't be on stage. They can't do any introductions. They can't intermingle. They are not even allowed to sit. You can't do jack shit. You're there doing your merch, but you stay out, even though, right, here's the stands and there's all the seats facing the stage and there's a projector or a screen, right? So they can clearly see the audience and the audience can see them if they turn around. You are not allowed to interfere. You're the merchandisers, right? And unless you're part of it or you've been invited to be part of it, you stay out of it. And that, for me, is how WordCamp should be. Unless you've been, let's just say, Elemental sponsored a future WordCamp or a meetup or something, and they wanted to do a talk. If I felt what they did was relevant, fine. If someone from Automatic, they're going to talk about the block editing side of things. I don't want to hear about this is what we're going to do in 5 years' time and 10 years' time. Fuck off. I don't care about 5 years' time. I'm talking about now. If I'm using Gutenberg now, what can I do? And how would I do it? And how do we explain how when I click on the typography or the text, I got to click onto this sidebar to do the font, to do the sizing, and where do I do the font clamp formula? I want to know that. I don't want to know about, here's the roadmap for the next 5 years. No, I want to know now. Hey, Quaver Love, hope you're all right, my friend. I want to know about now, and that's what WordCamp should be in terms of events and speakings and stuff like that. Case, why call it WordCamp if you're there in Paul C and another, who cares what? Well, the thing is, Case, is that it's all about coverage, and you can't deny that, like, so we have the flagships, the continent ones, then we have the country ones, like WordCamp Canada or WordCamp Dakar, or there's WordCamp Malaysia coming up, and then you got WordCamp not Asia, the Netherlands as well, and there was a recent WordCamp Nigeria. We just don't have that mini flagship here, because if you do something that's not WordCamp, then you almost fall into what I call is like, how to explain it? You almost fall into, well, it's just another meeting, like Atrim or CrocoBlock when they do it, or Web Accessibility when they do theirs, or Page Summit, they did theirs, Loop Conference, Press Conference. There's all these other ones, and I feel like Press Conference gets a lot of traction, and you could build that. It's about time we got one in the UK, because I think the UK is forgotten. I really, really do. There are so many talented, and not even talented, WordPress users, developers, designers in the UK. And I feel like it is just forgotten a little bit. There was going to be a WordPress London event in, I think it was 2024. It was announced in April 2024. There was going to be a WordPress London something. And apparently, so they said they were going to do it in September, but there was no updates. And I kept keeping check on it. No update, no update, no update, no update. Then we get to September, and it's like, right, we're not doing it because we've not got enough sponsorship. I thought, fuck. It literally came down to the sponsorship. And that's why I am suspicious over, is there a franchise fee? Maybe I should just go straight to Matt. Maybe I should, do you know what? Should I just release a video one day? Like literally just stick it on YouTube and go, this is a question for Matt, right? If someone wants to do a WordCamp UK event, would you guys support it? And if so, what's the charge for it? Is there any charge? Should I just do that? Actually, no, that could get me in a lot of bother and trouble, couldn't it? We could start our own event. You know, we could start our own event. But then, and I'm not saying Paul is like this, by the way, but the minute you get more people involved, let's just say, let's pretend here, okay? Let's say I start it. Let's just say Paul gets involved, Dave Foy gets involved, Jamie, you know, Putal Press gets involved. Other UK-based people get involved. Now we get into the thing about stakeholders. What is my share and what do I get out of it? If there is sponsorship money or stuff coming in, things start to get diluted. How much is spent on X? How much do I take home? I don't like to think of it like that, but you have to be honest here. The minute you have more people involved, the minute you know you're selling tickets, the minute you know you're getting sponsorship money, all of a sudden you go, ooh, what's my cut of that? And I'm not saying the names I mentioned are any part of this or anything like that, but I thought if I put the names in, it feels like a real example. You can kind of picture it and go, aha, I get it. I really do get it now. But I don't know. It's a possibility, isn't it? It's a possibility. Why not make it small? Well, I am currently doing the Elemental WordPress event. We had 8 people on Saturday. I hope we can get more for when I do another one in November the 23rd. It's in Leicester. It's free to attend. I haven't managed to get any sponsorship yet. I've reached out so far, I think, because we're quite small and quite new, not sponsorship yet. But I think potentially, if I can keep making this grow in a good way, not just in a capitalist way, make it grow, then maybe, who knows? If you avoid trademark names but imply them, then you wouldn't. That is absolutely true, Old Fat Trucker. But I feel like if you can get that WordCamp or that WordPress seal of approval, the kudos for the event will go like that. You can apply, but yes. So, Case, I have already applied. I applied because I'm running the Elemental WordPress meetup. I applied 2 weeks ago. I have been told that someone needs to speak to me, but that's it. No one has contacted me yet. I'm still waiting. I haven't even had an email. So hopefully someone one day soon will contact me. And if we can build it, we can take it. The one thing I've got going for me, I think, is the other events are not what I would call prominent on YouTube. So Nathan co-runs the WordPress London meetup. He does a bit of YouTube, but his is mainly podcasts. I think I can build traction. I think I can. Slowly and eventually. So let's just see where it goes. Web doc design. Are you coming to WordCamp Europe too in Krakow? So look, here's the point I made earlier, right? Okay. There's so first there's the cost of. So let's work it out. Okay. What's the cost of attending? That's what, $150, $150, £150, something. Then there's the flight and the hotel. Now I looked into it. The cost of the flight and the hotel is going to come to, and I've also got to travel to the airport from where I live now, so I've got to get there, right? It's going to be we're talking I'm now jumping into is it $50? 50 euros. Oh, I might be wrong then. Okay, 50 euros. But the plane and the hotel, I'm looking at over 2,000 British pounds. You could do I could do an Airbnb, but I'm telling you now, the amount of times I've gone to an Airbnb in this country and other countries, and I can tell you now, I always come back disappointed, really disappointed. And food and other stuff, I'm looking at over £2,000, right? That's what the equivalent of nearly $3,000-ish kind of thing. When you weigh it up for 3 or 4 days, I look at it and I go, I could do that and I might not even enjoy it because it's just going to be loads of sponsors and stuff. Some I care about, some I don't care about. I might not even give a damn about some of the webinars and whatnot. Yes, it's a great networking event, but I'm not here to just network. I'm here to learn. I'm here to, I'm here to learn. Oh, really, Nick? Is that what they're saying? I've probably missed that one. If so, I need to go and check it out. In fact, I'm probably going to jump off this live. In fact, let me just double check. Let me double check. Let me check live while we're on the live chat. So Nick says we got the new beta. If so, I need to go and have a look at it. And this is exactly the thing I was talking about on Saturday, right? About the whole custom CSS thing. So let me see if we have got it or not. Literally just now. Why has it not come through to... Oh, there it is. You're right. Here we go. Right. Okay, so let's pop it on screen. Should we pop it on screen so everyone can see it? Right, let's go for it. So, exciting times. Exciting times. Right, okay, so let's just zoom in on this. Let's go like that. No, what am I doing? Such a knob, aren't I, Imran? What am I doing? Just go over here. Flipping heck. Why did I do that? Right, right, okay, cool, right. FN, let's do that there. Right. Why open the email, right? What the fuck's wrong with me? Right, so variables manager, custom CSS. Okay, right, let's just go through this right live. So we're doing this on a live chat. We're going to fly through. If I need to open up, I'll do that in a separate later video. So V4, yeah, we know that, right. Complex design systems with variables manager. So the new variable manager introduces a centralized workspace to view, create, and manage all your design variables like colors, typography, blah, 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 blah. Yep, we kind of knew that. Gives you an overview. Okay, fine. I'll have to test that out. So we can now see... okay, right. I think I get that. Yep, okay. Right, I think I get that. Write custom CSS. So now... the custom CSS feature has been completely rebuilt. So what does that mean then? So where would you do that? I've got to watch this. So where would you do it? Where would you do it? Where would you do it? It's not telling me where that is. So is that inside of the tab? Most likely it is probably inside of the tab. I'll see that in a moment. Background clipping. Depth and creative. I don't go crazy for this sort of stuff. I sort of go, yeah, that's not going to make or break or change what I do. Export, yeah, okay, some people mentioned they couldn't do that. Navigate faster with the refresh top. Oh no, they're doing the top bar layout. Changed it again. Stop changing the top bar layout. Leave it as it is. Right? You get used to it and now you change it again. Additional updates, background clipping, dynamic tags, flipbox star, blah, 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 blah. Okay, right. So that's kind of what I'll be looking at later on today, I think. Thank you very much, Nick, for letting me know. I would have found it anyway, but it was nice of you to know that. Thank you very much. But yeah, we're back to WordCamp Europe. It's a hefty cost, which is why I don't go to WordCamp US or Asia or anywhere. That's why I feel like all the other countries out there, not all of them, but most of them, well, a lot of them, again, not most, but a lot of them have their own mini flagship event in their country. We don't have it in the UK. We need to have one. So I will at some point go and explore Elemental version 3.33. All right, I'm going to jump off now, everyone. Not because I'm going to do a recording now, but I'm just going to jump off and have a look. Thanks for being here. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Will I be live tomorrow? I'll be alive, but I don't know if I'll be live, as in a live chat. We'll see how I get on with stuff. All right, take care, everyone. Stay safe. See you all soon. This is Imran from Web Squadron signing off. Like, subscribe, share, and follow.